Kingdoms richer than Rome, Africa's forgotten empires. Imagine cities built of gold, libraries larger than Europe's greatest collections, armies that walked with the confidence of legends, empires so wealthy that when their kings traveled, they collapsed entire economies. This isn't mythology, this is Africa. And today, we bring back the empires richer than Rome, empires the world forgot. Welcome, family. Africa's story is not a tale of darkness. It is a tale of brilliance, of courage, of innovation. And today we journey across the continent to rediscover ancient powers that shaped the world long before colonial maps tried to shrink them into footnotes. Prepare yourself, because once you know this history, you will never look at Africa the same way again. The Empire of Kush, Egypt's mighty twin, travel with me to the Nile Valley, not to Egypt, but further south to the Kingdom of Kush. Kush was no side character. It rivaled Egypt for centuries. It conquered Egypt. It ruled as the 25th dynasty, known as the Black Pharaohs. These kings rebuilt temples. They revived culture. They brought stability when Egypt was crumbling. Their capital, Meroe, was a city of iron furnaces, so many that Roman writers called it the Birmingham of Africa. Kush had its own writing system, its own pyramids, more pyramids than Egypt, and queens called Candaces, who led armies and negotiated peace with Rome itself. Rome tried to invade them. Kush shot back, literally taking out a Roman general with an arrow. The peace treaty that followed? Rome had to respect Kush's borders. Imagine that, Rome forced to compromise. That was Kush. Carthage, the African Sea Empire. Now we sail north to Tunisia, to a city with ships that once ruled the Mediterranean, Carthage. People forget Carthage was African. Its merchants traded from West Africa to Spain. Its navy was unmatched. And its greatest general, Hannibal, shocked Rome by crossing the Alps with war elephants. Rome feared him for decades. But Carthage wasn't just military might. It was innovation, agriculture manuals, advanced harbors, a government system so efficient that even Greek philosophers wrote about it with admiration. Before Rome became an empire, Carthage already was. Aksum, the empire that ruled the Red Sea, crossed to the Horn of Africa, Ethiopia and Eritrea. Home to Aksum, one of the world's great superpowers. Aksum controlled the Red Sea trade routes. It minted its own gold coins, accepted across the ancient world. It built massive obelisks carved from single stones, standing as tall as modern buildings. Greek writers described Aksum as one of the four great powers of the ancient world, alongside Rome, Persia, and China. Aksum connected Africa to Arabia, India, and beyond. It was cosmopolitan, technologically advanced, politically stable. Some historians believe the Ark of the Covenant rests somewhere in its ancient lands. Whether myth or truth, one thing is certain. Aksum was a giant whose footsteps shaped world history. Mali Empire, the Gold Kingdom that shook the world home. We enter West Africa, into the land of gold, into the Empire of Mali, one of the wealthiest civilizations in human history. Here ruled Mansa Musa, the king whose fortune was so vast that when he traveled to Mecca, his spending caused inflation for years. But Mali was more than Mansa Musa. It held cities of knowledge, Timbuktu, Djenné, Gao. Universities with thousands of students. Libraries holding manuscripts on mathematics, astronomy, medicine, law. Collections larger than many in Europe at the time. So wealthy, so educated, so organized. When foreign travelers visited Mali, they wrote of justice, peace, and a society built on community wealth. This was Africa at its height. Great Zimbabwe, the city of stone and empire of trade travel south, to the stone ruins that once sparked global debate, not because they were mysterious, but because they were so advanced that early colonizers refused to believe Africans built them. But we know the truth. Great Zimbabwe was the center of a powerful kingdom that controlled gold mining and trade stretching to the Indian Ocean. Its stone walls, some over 11 meters high, were built without mortar. Precision, architecture, engineering, its wealth flowed through trade with Arabia, India, and China. Beads from Persia, porcelain from China, African gold crossing oceans, a global African kingdom. Thriving long before Europe arrived, the Kingdom of Benin, masters of art and urban engineering. Finally, we journey to West Africa again, to the palace walls of Benin, Anon Asoham, in modern-day Nigeria. Benin was an artistic powerhouse. Its bronze sculptures remain some of the most sophisticated works ever created. They documented history, kings, queens, wars, traditions. But Benin was more than art. It was engineering. The city was surrounded by earthworks 4 times longer than the Great Wall of China. Its streets were organized in a grid system. Its government was stable and deeply rooted in culture. Visitors described Benin City as one of the cleanest, best-planned cities in the world. This was Africa's brilliance, visible, undeniable. From Kush to Carthage, from Aksum to Mali, from Great Zimbabwe to Benin. These were not forgotten footnotes. These were empires of wealth, innovation, creativity, and power. They traded with the world. They shaped the world. They enriched the world. This is Africa's story, a story too big to be hidden, a story too powerful to be erased. And now, it is ours to tell. If you want more powerful African history, more truth, more pride, subscribe now. Join this journey, and let's continue restoring the story of Africa, one empire at a time.